If you truly knew how to run your business like a business, how to build the systems, think strategically, and lead effectively, you'd already be doing it. You'd already have the results. The fact that you have so little time and money, along with so many problems, means there's something missing.
Hello, this is the Hack Hour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Minges.
Hey there, Rebels. Let me ask you a hard question. Have you ever thought, if I could just work a little harder, sell a few more jobs, or cut some overhead, everything would finally just fall into place? If that sounds like you're not alone. It's the most common belief in our industry. But what if I told you this? Look, working harder isn't always the answer. Here's the deal. If effort alone could solve your problems, you'd already have everything you want, right? The time to breathe, the money in the bank, the team that you trust, and the freedom, right, to focus on what matters most. But if that's most likely not your reality, right? Today, I'm sharing with you some hard truth about why you're stuck, a little bit of the psychology behind the frustration you feel, and a battle-tested path that'll help move you forward. So, look, buckle up, because for some of you, it's time to put on your big boy pants, right? And discover a better way. Look, a way that really complements your hard work and your natural drive, but one that now finally delivers results. All right. So we know you're not afraid of hard work. And we know this because most people in the world probably wouldn't last several days doing what you do day in, day out, week after week. So let me tell you a story. When I first started with my remodeling business, I believed that as long as I was willing to work harder than the next guy, right, success was gonna follow. I'd be more committed, more determined, more persistent. I hustled, right? I sold jobs. I sacrificed my nights. I sacrificed weekends. I would stay up late. I'd get up early. And I slowly just ran myself into the ground. And you know what? I got by, but I wasn't getting ahead. The harder I seemed to work, as if the bank account wasn't growing in relation. Yes, we would make more money, but we would also have more issues. I'll never forget one project. I had a kitchen remodel. It was a nice couple. And when it started out, they said, they just wanted to keep it simple. And as the project went on, I started noticing that I was, giving some extras. I would start to bend over backwards. I'd be like, well, I can help them out with this. This would probably look really good here, right? I noticed that I cut my rate some, to help them out. And I even found myself, I'd stay late, and I did some on-site things that were outside of our original agreement. And this is the best part. Guess what? When we were done, they nitpicked everything. They decided to drag out the payments. And by the end, I was frustrated. I had barely broke even. And worse yet, I felt taken advantage of and, unappreciated. And that's when it hit me. I was the problem. See, I wasn't running a business. I was letting my clients run me around, literally. So look, hard work without a plan leads to burnout and frustration. And it's not about doing more. It's about doing things, as we say, the right way, right? It's learning that there's a certain way that produces certain results. Let's dig a little deeper into why this happens. So there's a psychological term I want to share with you. You might have heard it, called cognitive dissonance. And this is that uncomfortable feeling that we get when our actions don't match our beliefs, right? So some of you probably have gone through this. So for example, you believe you're working toward your freedom and your financial stability, right? You're sacrificing, but your actions, right? The underpricing of the jobs, the micromanaging of your guys, and the working of 80-hour weeks, they are taking you further from your goals. And when you're honest with yourself, you know this. There's this uneasiness that you're feeling, but it's magnified by a discomfort from not knowing how to do it differently, right? So now here's another way to look at this. Many remodelers, unfortunately, think more like an employee than a business owner, right? So as an employee, right, our goal is typically to work harder, make sure we show up consistently, we collect a paycheck, right? Now, as a business owner, your goal is to create system, right? Some frameworks. You need to be leading your team so that the business will grow sustainability, right? It just can grow. So if you're stuck in an employee mode, here's what's happening. You start noticing how you focus on one job at a time instead of building that pipeline of opportunity. And you act like each client is your boss, right? You start finding that you're saying yes to a lot of the little things, even when it costs you. For some reason, you have fear of wanting to implement the change order. And if you do put in a change order, you're afraid to charge more. It creeps up in various ways. So look, at the end of the day, you probably find yourself wondering why your business feels like this never-ending grind. When I realized that I was still had employee thoughts and I was still allowing some of that in my business, I had to swallow my pride. I had to recognize that I didn't know. I knew how to think somewhat like a business owner, and I implemented some things, but I didn't know how to think like a true successful business owner, right? I was making some of the same mistakes that so many other remodeling business owners are making. And that's why there was a point where my business was struggling and I was having a hard time getting it to grow. I had reached a point where I didn't know any better. I didn't know different ways. And that's when I chose to first invest in my first coaching program. It wasn't cheap, but it changed my life. It was a struggle in the beginning. I had opposition against what I was hearing, the suggestions that were being given towards me to doing things differently, and being hard-headed. I resisted, and I didn't see growth at times because of that. And I had to recognize that I had someone that was willing to show me the way, and they were laying it out for me, and I would still resist. It's interesting when you start learning about yourself. So, but that coach program, what it did teach me, right, was for the first time, I learned how easy it was if I got out of my own way, how quickly I could get to the next level by learning how to lead more effectively, learning how to plan on a more large scale, and really build a real business instead of just working for wages. And when I had a framework, it helped me lessen a lot of the fear, because some of you are winging it, and at times you're successful and at times you're not. And there's something inside that lets you know, I really don't know with certainty how to make this always work out. And that's why you find yourselves with a lot of discomfort. So let's talk about this framework, right, for change. How do you get unstuck? How do you go from feeling like that hamster on the wheel to running a business that starts working for you and providing for you on a consistent basis? It starts with just one thing, and that's changing your path, right? Here's what I want you to do. You admit that what you're doing isn't working. Simply look at the results that you have. If your strategy worked, then you already have the life and business you want. Congratulations. keep getting at it. Do it more, right? Keep going. But unfortunately, I think for a lot of you, you don't have that, right? So the second step here is look at how do you shift your mindset, right? Stop thinking with some of those employee thoughts, the person that's working more for the wage, and start thinking like that business owner who's building the system, the foundation, building the wealth. So the third thing we do is you need to follow a proven system, a model, right? You lay out like, guys, this is how this works. One of the reasons why franchises are so successful is because they give you the basic playbook. And as long as you follow that framework that the franchisee gives, right? The franchisor gives out to the franchisee, most of the time you can be successful if you follow their model. And that's where over the years I noticed in the remodeling world specifically, remodelers could benefit from having somebody else hand them that basic framework, right? And what's unique about the Remodeling Academy is we're not asking you to change your name of your business. You keep your business name the way you want it to be. We just help you with the framework. We give you the playbook, and you don't have to pay us any of the royalties, any of the commissions, right? You just join the academy, you join the affiliation program, you get access to what you need, the manual. We hand you that, and then you just run and take your business to the next level. So this is how we help you break out of the grind. Look, it's not magic. It's a strategy, right? And here is specifically what we teach. We help you figure out how to price your jobs profitably so you're not just busy but successful, right? We help you weed out all the leads so that you are working with the best clients, and how working with the best client helps get more of the best client, right? We put you on a whole new trajectory for your business. We help you by allowing you now to put in systems that not only are going to save time, but they also reduce the chaos and the consistent problems, the ups and downs that you're going through. We also help you manage your team and your clients so that you can stay in control of this remodeling game, right? This business that you're in. Look, most importantly out of all this is we teach you how and to free up your time and energy so you can focus on the bigger picture, your life. Now, let me share a story about one of our members, Mark. He struggles with some of the things that a lot of you are struggling with. So, look, hardworking, talented, and he's very committed to his family. But no matter how many jobs Mark found himself selling, mainly it was kitchens and baths, he found himself running out of money before that next check came in, right? You sell the job, and then it's like almost, I need to sell another job. So when Mark joined the Remodeling Academy, we worked with him to help him identify some of the gaps that were in his business. And wasn't a surprise to us. It was more of a surprise for him. He was consistently doing the following. He was underpricing jobs, assuming that he wasn't going to run into problems and thinking he would get them done quicker. And then he's overcommitting his time, and he was, in an effort to save some money and time, he was doing everything himself. And he was thinking that, well, every time I've brought someone in, they just create more problems. So I just, if you want something done right, you just have to do it yourself. And the burden that he started carrying over time, it becomes unsustainable, right? So over time, with Mark being in the Remodeling Academy, he came in open to saying, I know there's another way. And he was able to see how he could turn his business around, right? And it started slowly. He was like, you know what? You're right. I need to start charging what I'm worth. And he came out with a better way of pricing his jobs. And as he flexed his price muscle, right, as he started to charge a little more, started recognizing, wow, I am worth more. And then he started recognizing, I need to charge even more. And then as he got more comfortable charging a little more, it helped him charge a little more again, and then a little more again. And then that's when he got to a place where he's like, wow, I am now walking away from jobs with that excess money that I've been looking for. This is where I wish I would have been years ago. He also recognized that there was a better model, a better way to bring in a good team member that he could successfully then delegate the tasks to, right? So now he's found that, yes, I have someone who's helping me run the job site. And by him having the extra money, he could take the time to train this person. And this person had somewhere to go to get more training, to be more successful. And Mark was able to also have someone help him now part-time at first in the office. He needed some help with like his bills and the payroll and answering the calls. And once he set up a model for that and had a good framework and gave the person some scripts, here's how to answer the phone, here's how we do this, can you explain to our clients that this is our process, he started finding that the person in his office was now helping him, and they were weeding out those initial leads. That when someone would call in, they figured out who was the good client to go after, and that produced more good clients. And Mark started going, wow, this is exactly what I've been trying to do for years. And he had himself a system now. He had someone helping him in the office. He had someone helping him out in the job site, and he was charging more money. So he's making more profit, which allowed him to relax and have the energy to keep making more good decisions. When you're exhausted, when you're burnt out, you end up making decisions that aren't always in your best interest because you're not on your A game. Once you get some rest and you have money in the bank and you can breathe, you find yourself making more good decisions, which leads to helping you continue to be successful down the road. Do you see the result we're saying here? He stopped having to say yes to every client, figured out how to find the best clients, and the result was Mark now had more money, he now had more time, and he had a business that finally felt manageable, right? He recognized that Mark, all along, it wasn't Mark was 100% the problem. His approach was, right? His foundation that he was building his business on, that was what was not appropriate. It wasn't working. Once he recognized that, hey, I need to follow a few different beliefs here, a couple new systems. Once he changed that, everything else fell into place. So while we're here, take a moment and imagine something, right? 5 years from now, let's assume that nothing has changed much in your business. You've gotten older, you're more tired, right? Some of your tools are now needing to be replaced. You're more jaded about the industry, but you're still grinding. You're still chasing clients, and you're still feeling like, maybe you're only one bad month away from disaster. You're holding on, right? So how does that feel? How many more years and months do you want to live that way? Now, let's imagine a different scenario. Imagine for a moment that you're waking up and your house looks different. Your vehicle looks different. It's 5 years from now, and your stuff's organized and it's clean and it's neat and things are nice, right? You have this thriving business. You have free time. You're not overwhelmed. You grew the business to something that worked for you. You have money in the bank. You have a strong team that you trust. They are reliable. They enjoy what they do. You all enjoy working together. You have a similar goal, and that's the client satisfaction at the end of this remodel. Imagine you actually have the time now to enjoy the life that you've built. You go to work during the week and you get the result that allows you to have time with your family at night. You have time with your family on the weekend. You're able to finally take some vacations, and the business works for you. So this future, this second one we've envisioned here, it's possible, but it requires you to make a choice, right? You have to imagine this. You're on a path right now, you and your business. The question is, are you on the right one? And what if maybe you could just change your path and implement a few new things and you would get a much different result, right? If you're tired of being on the hamster wheel and you're tired of working harder without getting ahead, then that's the sign that it's time to try something different. Well, and it's as simple as, here's what we'd like you to do next. You go to the remodelingacademy.com and you learn how we can help you build the business and the life that you've always wanted. So stop settling for less. Stop thinking that you can just brute force your way to success. Look, you're too smart, you're too capable, and you're too hard working for that. You deserve better. This is your moment to level up, right? This is your chance. Don't let it pass you by. So thank you for listening to the Hack Hour. Until next time, keep growing, and remember, right, your freedom starts with putting in place the right foundation.
Thank you for listening to the Hack Hour podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.